Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm FiddlinJonny and this is my Fiddle channel and magic product review. And before we do any magic product review, we do a quick fiddle tune. Today I'm going to play the Desire Waltz by Pancerzewski, and I picked it because I'm going to review a product that I think some people may desire. Alright, here we go. Bear with me, there's a few difficult notes in this, but we'll get through it. There we are. There's your fiddle tune for today, but I know most of you are here really for the magic product review. And today I'm going to review Mark Mason's Case Dismissed. All right, stick around and we'll get right into this review. All right, thank you so much for being here. You know I always appreciate it. All right, let's talk about Case Dismissed by Mark Mason. So this is a release that I'm reviewing because a viewer had asked for it. And I saw the trailer and thought, oh, the trailer looks really cool. Let's give it a whirl. I have mixed feelings about this. Mostly is that like some people are really gonna like this and it's just definitely not for other folks. With that said, let's just go ahead and get into it and see if it's right for you. What the heck is Case Dismissed? So Case Dismissed is essentially a disappearing tuck case. And the way that it's performed is essentially you might be approaching a table, approaching a group of people, and you're ready to start performing a card trick. Your cards are inside the tuck case. You would normally have to open up your tuck case and pull the cards out. But with just a simple flick of your wrist, suddenly the tuck case has completely disappeared and you're ready to go into your very first routine with your cards. That's what tuck case is. It's a disappearing tuck case, or I should say Case Dismissed is a disappearing tuck case. All right, so let's talk about what are you gonna get. You're gonna get two things here. In this envelope right here, you're going to get a smaller envelope. And inside your smaller envelope, you're gonna get the web page to watch your streaming / downloadable video along with your gimmick. So you can see that your gimmick pack's really small and flat in there. So you're gonna get your video tutorial and you're gonna get your gimmick. Your video tutorial is taught by Mark Mason and Javier Fonmeyer from over there at Murphy's Magic. The tutorial is 11 minutes and 28 seconds in length. So it's basically 11.5 minutes. Now normally I would say on a video tutorial that is 11.5 minutes in length, like that is way too short in this day and age. But on this release, I got everything that I needed in that 11.5 minutes. So I was just fine. And in part of it because the gimmick is really straightforward in terms of how it operates. You're given a routine in which to use it, which is sort of the routine, you know, you disappear your tuck case essentially, and you learn how to do that, and you're good to go. It's pretty simple, straightforward in that respect, and therefore I did not feel like I was ripped off with just 11.5 minutes of a tutorial. All right, so, but let's talk a little bit about the instructions. What I do feel about the instructions, they were simple and direct. There's not a lot of complexity with difficult sleights. The gimmick itself does most of the work for you. You have some angle issues that they'll go over and they'll go over some ideas and then you're cut loose and you're ready to perform. I will add one of the things that I did additionally like about the tutorial is that Javier Fonmeyer also essentially has taken an additional Mark Mason release, which is what, Reboxed, I think it's what it's called. And it's almost the opposite of this, is that you end your routine, you now want to put your cards back into the tuck case, but what you do is you instantaneously have the cards appear in a tuck case. So so you can begin with this release with Case Dismissed, and then finish up with Reboxed. So I thought that was sort of a nice addition. They don't come together, they're sold separately, but what is a really nice idea for this. Okay, instructions are good. I haven't got much to complain about them. The only thing that I would complain about the instructions is, in my ideal world, I would have loved to see that they talk about how to build the gimmick yourself. The gimmick eventually will wear out. And while it's pretty simple and straightforward, and I think if you've been doing any gimmick building for any amount of time, you can just rebuild it yourself. However, I think I still would have loved an additional tutorial on, like, hey, if you're building this from scratch, here's how you build it from scratch. But maybe that would have cost more to do that. And of course, it's more profitable for them just to sell you a new one. Okay, let's talk about the gimmick itself. The gimmick is bicycle, made from a bicycle tuck case and playing cards. So you know that they will last as long as any sort of tuck case or playing cards would last, depending on how long or how rough you are on them or how frequently you use them. So durable, really made, well-made gimmick should last as long as a typical cards would last from bicycle cards. But it's good. The gimmick works as advertised, okay? Don't expect to find an overly engineered, super advanced, high technology gimmick. It's sort of classic gimmick making. But I will add that Mark Mason has done, solved a problem with this one. With this type of gimmick, you would typically have what's called a step. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about with this step, it means that a certain angle you can't quite show your card or your tuck case, because you'll see that there's this big discrepancy. He has solved that problem because there are no step issues in this, because there's no step that is visible when you show it as a tuck case or when you show that the tuck case has disappeared. So yay for Mark Mason sort of solving that problem with this typical type of a gaff. All right, so I think I would also add here about the gimmick. You know, this is all I would consider beginner skill level. I did find, however, that it did require some practice. After I watched the tutorial, I felt like, okay, I'm ready to go out and perform this. I went and stood in front of a mirror, and over practicing a little bit, I went, oh yeah, I'm definitely not ready to perform this for people. That it required a little more practice than I anticipated. You really do have to get used to the gimmick, because the gimmick has to transform in front of the spectator. And you want to make sure that you're getting your angles right, that you understand your own choreography, and at the moment when that card tuck case changes into an actual card. So that took some practice, and it took a lot more practice in a mirror than I had expected. I'll probably post, if you haven't seen it already on here, at the beginning, I'll post it towards the end, a quick demo of it. So, but know that it feels like it took a little bit more practice for me than I would have expected. I think the place where this is ideal is probably two places. I think this is great for a strolling magician, and it's best when you're approaching a new crowd, whether you're approaching a new table or a group of people, and maybe you're even not comfortable sort of like beginning to talk. They see that you've got a deck of cards and you're ready to perform a piece of magic. You just are able to perform this wonderful, very quick visual change that will really surprise your spectators because they won't see it coming. And I think that's the value in this, is that it's great for an opening to break the ice as you begin some card magic with your audience. I wouldn't do it as a standalone piece. I wouldn't make the tuck case disappear and then go into a sponge ball routine. I would go directly into card routines. could keep the gimmick in your deck, but it's easier if you palm it out. So just know that that's a piece of it. They will go over how to ditch and palm it from the deck itself. I found that really easy to do, not an issue. So even if you're a beginner, I wouldn't worry about that piece. The other place I think that it's really good is for social media. I think if you want to do something quick and visual on social media, it's great for social media. This is not the sort of effect that is a closer. It is clearly an opener. So just understand, if you're interested in it, it will do the job as advertised. It will require a little bit of practice and choreography to get it down. Your gimmick is durable and should last quite a while. When we're looking at what is the cost of this in the United States, it is $40, and for a handmade gimmick, $40 seems very reasonable for the amount of time it must take for each of these to be made. I had noticed on some of the forums that someone had written that it talks, that it's really loud. I do not have that issue at all. Sure, it talks, but I think if you're in a real world performing situation, no one is ever going to notice that, the talking sound. It just isn't. So I do not see that as an issue here. For me, the issue is put in the practice time, know what your angles are, and you're going to be good to go. All right, that's it. I don't have a lot more to say about it. It feels like to me it's not something I would perform with. I didn't like the idea of like I sort of have to set up my gimmick before I walk up to a table for just that 1 second of visual eye candy. Others are going to love that because it fits their style. It doesn't fit my style. I'm just much more comfortable walking up to a crew and with my deck of cards in hand and begin going from there. So if you think it looks great, it's something you think you would use, you're going to be fine. All right, if you purchased it, leave some comments down below of things that you have learned from using it that would be helpful for other folks who are considering it. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And if you have not hit the like button, please go ahead and hit the like button. It is greatly appreciated. All right, thanks everyone for watching this review. I'm FiddlinJonny, and remember to keep fiddling around with your magic. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.